Alright guys, so I had to pause my Bob Marley. I was hanging out in the backyard. I'm going to make this video kind of short. We went out for technically my second race of the season, which would be our first points race at the track where I ran points at last year. I mean, this is kind of all I really want to do at the moment. Like, there's plenty of videos if you guys want to watch old stuff or suggest my page to other people, because I'm at the point where I'm actually quite busy with quite a few things besides, actually, I'm not even busy with my stuff this year. As you can see, the 350 is still in the back. We got our backup transmission, and really, I'm busy with other things that are going on outside of work, and well, they're like work related, but outside of work. And then obviously I'm working on the Buick, but you know what, I just don't have it in me to document body work, because to me, like, unless I show pictures and give you like a detailed description, it's kind of pointless. Because are you going to watch someone weld? Are you really going to watch someone do like endless sanding? I mean, it's really basically all condensed. So either way, and not to mention, there's like great pages that I actually follow for body work and stuff, and I keep an open mind, and I actually use some of these pages for references. And I just feel like there's better people out there to do what I actually do. I do it, I'm good at it, but there's people that are way better than me. And as far as on the hobby end with the Oldsmobile and stuff, well, I have my own little uniqueness to what I do. It's all low book, like Chevy mentality, but old specific, and that's kind of what's worked for me. But I'm at the point where I just have to go out and race, and that's what I guess this year's going to be. I'm just going to kind of document as much as I can of my racing, if possible, like pictures and videos. And my wife doesn't come out to points races, so you're not going to see a lot of videos of my car unless one of my buddies gets it or something. So we all run the same class as well, so it makes it hard for people to take videos of each other's cars. And either way, went out. So let me give you guys the whole scoop on everything. My best friend's wedding was the day before. Got home, went to bed, woke up early. You know, it's a wedding, so we were out okay late, whatever. But I was focused to some extent. And I actually would say I was pretty focused. I with every race, the more seat time I get, the more things tighten up. And I haven't ran this track since last year. And I caught pretty consistent lights, which is my biggest problem. So we went out first round, but I'm not going to cry about it. Why? Because, well, there's a lot of losers in racing, more so than winners. But at the end of the day, the car ran dead on, just like it did a couple weeks ago. So everything's good. And in our first round of eliminations, we got paired up with a car that was 2 seconds slower, 2 seconds plus, actually. And I had to chase him down, and I was coming up on him really, really fast. My problem was I pedaled it a little too early, and his margin of victory was .039. I had a good reaction time. He had a really slow reaction time, and he ran closer to his dial. I obviously ran way off because I pedaled it too soon, but the car was glued on 12:02, like on our first two runs, almost identical. I'll post a picture. And either way, that was our first race. It was a good day. Obviously, of course, nothing broke. Otherwise, this video would be definitely different. If something broke, we'd be talking about swapping that engine in, which may happen partway through the summer, because I'm going to put in a new oil pressure gauge, and if things stay the same, I'm getting warning signs from the motor. I think it's actually the oil pump, not the bearings. That oil pump is actually old. It's an old Kenny Bell oil pump, and it does some weird stuff when it's hot. Most oil pressure issues, the oil pressure goes away. I mentioned this. This one actually kind of goes up, and it fluctuates a hair in the right direction, not in the direction. But I'm like, oh well, it can't be that bad. But if it gets any worse and it varies anymore, we're gonna have to put this in that to make it. But either way, our next race is in a month. But me and my buddy are going to try to squeeze in a race at another track that we're going to try out and see how they run their program. just kind of for practice, which actually the first points race that we did was really good practice. Told me that the car ran the same, but I needed work, and I went into this bracket race this weekend with the right mentality. And even though I didn't go rounds, I'm seeing improvements in the time slip in the area that I need work, which was at the lights. And I did like an 051, 054, and an 045, which aren't the greatest lights, but they're not horrible. From my understanding, if you want to be able to stay competitive, you gotta try to stay at an 030 range light, and that's kind of what I've been shooting for. I'm not trying to get like double O's. I'm not. Again, there's a lot of guys out there with a lot more experience than me, and I'm just out there. I'm barely just kind of wading through the waters, if you will. I'm just kind of getting through it. I'm trying to figure it out. You know, like jumping in a pool. You got to figure out the deep end. You got to figure out the shallow end, and then you get comfortable, and then you dominate it, right? You're good at it, for lack of better terms. So, yeah, I mean, so we might do another race in like 3 weeks. It won't be, again, we're going to be kind of bouncing between a couple of the local tracks, just trying out different programs, seeing what other people run, because our home track would run twice a month, and this year they're doing once a month and only 6 races. And they also opened up the index, or the cutoff, from 12.0 to 11.0, which actually puts me in a good position to not worry so much about slowing down the car. And even though it was actually hot, humid, and the DA was like above 3,000 at one point in the day, and we had a 20-mile-an-hour headwind, the car still ran a 12.0. It would have done 1180s, which, again, we're seeing this pattern of, in the heat, in less than ideal weather, the car is running really good with that new rear gear. Obviously, our testing was inconclusive, and we did not get any good weather to test, so we just have to bite the bullet on that one and chalk it up to, hopefully, if everything stays together in the fall, we'll get that 1150 that I've been chasing. So either way, share, like, subscribe. I'm going to lop on all the videos I got from the track. I mean, everything I took, pictures, and I'll share that with you guys at the end of this. So again, share, like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram as Copper Cutlass, and sign off here, I guess.